Hello my fellow bookworms, witches, nerds and weirdos, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I mostly talk about books but sometimes talk about other things. This video is talking about books and other things, but if you know much from my channel, it's mostly about books, to be fair. So, 2020 was a year. I'm not going to go into details because everyone knows what happened to the world. It was a mess. But oh well, it's fine because I started this YouTube channel, which was exciting. So now I can talk to strangers on the internet about books. And all of my friends are annoyed by the amount of books I read now, which is fun. So they're not just annoyed about my constant musical references. But like, it's great. It's fine. I'm sure they deal with it. I'm just annoying. I realise I haven't told you guys what this video is about. So unless you read the title, which... yeah, I'm pretty sure you read the title, so you know what this is about anyway, so I don't need to introduce it. But it's the whole, like, you know how people have put things for like how my 2020 was and my 2021 goals and books and reading and stuff. They also did like their favourite books and least favourite books, but I don't know. I'll just try and fit some of that into a video and try to make it not so chaotic that no one understands it. Hopefully. First of all, let's talk about my 2020 goals. Because I didn't have a YouTube channel at the start of 2020, so you guys didn't know my reading goals unless you're a strange stalker or you know me in real life. Please don't be a strange stalker, because that sounds really scary. But anyways, my reading goal for 2020 was to read 100 books, because after doing GCSEs, I got out of the habit of reading quite often, and I'd never recorded down the books that I've read before, so I thought that would be a nice experience, try and get back into reading and figure out how much I actually read. Turns out I read a lot. I finished that reading goal by just before September, 100 books. So by the end of the year, because school got quite busy, I read around 150 books. I stopped counting after 113, but my estimate is around 150, 160 books. I realised I'm more addicted to reading books than I thought. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Sometimes you just want to be Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and you want that library so that you can read them all within a year. I have a reading problem, and that's okay because it's a healthy coping mechanism. So I have no regrets in terms of what I read in this year, but my kind of reading goal for next year isn't going to be quite as number based, because now I know that I read a lot. I want to focus on the content of the books and actually enjoying the books. So, you know, recently I've been trying not to do as many readathons and just take in and enjoy the books that I'm reading, and having the bravery to actually notice when I don't like a book and put it down. So actually voicing my opinions on books honestly and choosing books that I will enjoy more, and that has affected my book buying as well. It's been a lot more intentional at the end of this year, and going forward I hope that happens again. I'm going on a book buying ban over the course of January and February because my birthday and Christmas are very close together and I bought a lot of books. So I think I'll just leave it for the books and just demolish my physical TBR before I read any more. Oh well, I will read more, but I won't buy more. If you get about that. But yeah, I haven't actually said what my 2021 goal is. I just said it's more related to enjoying books. Let's try that again. My 2021 goal in regards to books is to find new favourites and new books which I will enjoy for years to come. That's the main goal. It's nothing particularly number-based or measured. It's just that I want to read books that I fall in love with and really enjoy. So that's my 2021 reading goal, just to fall in love with different books. Okay, now I'm into more other book-related things which are not goals. Lol, I hope I don't look back on this video and cringe. I hope future me never reacts to this. But who knows? But the book I'm reading currently is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. And yes, those are Bluetooth headphones instructions I'm using as a bookmark. Sometimes we just have to find the nearest flat item and use it as a bookmark. So clearly, I'm only this way through. So not only is this the last book I will be reading in 2020, it will be the first book that I finish in 2021, because there's no way ever that I'm reading 700 pages today. No, after I record this video, I'm going to go off and I'm going to go on to just dance, because I'm a responsible adult. But yeah, that's what I'm reading currently. It's a very thick, chunky book and I love it so much so far. I love it. Now onto the section of the video where I fangirl about books I read this year, which I've probably already mentioned in several other videos, but no one can be bothered to watch all of my videos when you could just watch this small section where I talk about books that I loved reading this year. A few of these I don't have physical copies of, but for this video I'll actually be bothered to type out a description and write out the books because in the description box, because I want you guys to be able to read the books that I liked and talk to me about books, because I love talking to strangers on the internet about books, because it's great. It's how I cope with life. So I put them in a random order and a pile, and then afterwards I'll talk about the ones that I don't have a physical copy of at the minute for different reasons. This one is gorgeous. It's got purple edges. I got it for my birthday last year, when I was turning 17, and yeah, it's The Places I've Cried in Public by Holly Bourne, which is about a girl who gets into a really bad relationship once she moves far away from all of her friends. And yeah, I cried. That's why I like this book, because it made me cry. Sometimes you just want a book to turn you into an emotional wreck. And that's what this book did for me. Right here we have Queen of the Tearling by Erika Johanson. This is a fantasy novel, and I believe pretty soon there's going to be an adaptation of it on Netflix maybe? But there's a film adaptation coming out and I'm so excited because I love it. It's basically about this girl who is brought up in secrecy so no one tries to kill her, because she is the heir to the throne, and then the king dies and she becomes the queen, but lots of people want her dead, which is just so quirky and relatable. So I just related to her so much, because relatable. I'm joking, by the way, that's not relatable, but I just loved the story. The next book on here is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which is about this woman who marries this guy who's quite cool and mysterious, and his wife just died, and his wife is called Rebecca, and Rebecca still has this presence around the house, even though she's dead. So the new Mrs. De Winter, which is like the surname of the guy she married, gets a little bit jealous, and there are plenty of plot twists at the end. Yeah, the last plot twist is my favourite. I will not explain why, because that will give away one of the plot twists, but it's a great book. And it's in the gothic genre, which is always fun because I've realised my passion for that genre this year. This one is I Was Dead for 13 Minutes by Sarah Pinborough. I am surprised I did not read this when I was younger. I came across it so many times and I didn't read it. And I don't understand why, because it was incredible. It's about this group of mean girls, and then someone got into an accident and they were dead for 13 minutes, and it's trying to figure out why this person got in the accident and what happened and their lives, and they're all teenagers, so it's very teenagery angstiness. But yeah, it was a good book, I liked it. Next one is Witch's Pyre by Josephine Angelini, and this is the third novel in her series. I don't know, she might have a different series, but it was a great continuation of the world. I like the world building and development of relationships. Really good book. Iconic. I think this is the best third book in the series I've ever read, because third books tend to disappoint me. I don't know why, I just have expectations. Next on here is The Special Ones by M. Bailey. This one I got for free because the library were giving it away. And it's about this girl who gets initiated into a cult, which is fun. And this one here is Cinder by Marissa Meyer, the first novel in the Lunar Chronicles, and I absolutely loved it. I love the main character, I love the strange sort of development and the different version of Cinderella. I love the story of Cinderella, and if you think it's anti-feminist, I can rant about how you're wrong all day, literally all day. But yeah, I really like this book. And the last physical book on this list, I mean, you probably knew it was coming if you've seen my videos. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love it. I love it. It's the first bisexual representation I've ever seen ever in any book or read. But I was freaking out. It's amazing. And what was also nice about this book is that I read it slowly. So I really got wrapped into this world. And I loved it. I literally loved it so much. Okay, so I have 3 books also on this list that I don't have physical copies of currently. The first one is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This one I lent to someone, so they've currently got my copy of it. But yeah, I really loved it. It's a dystopian feminist novel, and the costumes that the main characters wear have also been a huge symbol of feminism since then, and I love it. It's great. It's really good. I also really enjoyed the sequel that came out this year, but not as much as the original. The original is just golden. I loved it. And another one out of these 3 is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. It's the prequel to The Hunger Games, and it stars a teenage President Snow. Of course, he wasn't a president at that time, and it also follows this District 12 contestant, Lucy Gray Baird, in the 12th annual Hunger Games, and it's really interesting. There's a lot of backstory and world building involved, and I really enjoyed it. The last book on this list is The Animals at Lockwood Manor by Jane Healey, and it's a historical fiction about this woman who's in charge of a museum which is moved to this manor house, Lockwood Manor, in the countryside, and she meets the daughter of the owner of the house, should I say, and they start to become a bit closer, so it's a really nice story. So those were a bunch of books that I really enjoyed reading this year. There are more, but those were the ones that I thought of at this moment. Oh well. But as far as books I disliked, there are quite a few books that I found disappointing, but there was only one I truly hated, and that was You by Caroline Kepnes, which a Netflix series You was based on, and I tried to like it because I was like, oh yeah, it's not serious, it's a critique on romantic stereotypes and how that's creepy, and no, it was just a story from the perspective of a truly horrible person that I could not sympathise with in the slightest. And I don't know, maybe that's what some people enjoy, but I did not. So that's the only book I really properly have strong negative feelings about, let's just say. What other stuff do people put in these videos? I don't know, but like, I hope 2021 is better than 2020, and I hope everyone gets a vaccine, and I don't know, maybe we'll be able to see people again. I mean, I'm an introvert, so I never really saw people that much anyway, but like, for the sake of the extroverted people, I hope things go back to normal. So, that's all I have for today's video. I'm sorry if it was really long and annoying and boring. If you stay for this long, thank you. I don't know why you didn't get bored and click off, but oh well. Well, I hope you have a happy new year, and I'll hopefully see you again for another video. Bye.